Day 106, 7. Still sick. So I can tell you what I think it's wrong based on just facts. Um, it was especially maybe 1 month after I started carnivore. I went to the blood test and my iron was lower than usual, like lower than ever before, which was very strange because at the time I did eat also the liver, I did eat everyday red meat. It was just not making sense at all. So I did had an infusion, vitamin C, and the iron, and I was feeling good. My iron was very low, but I didn't have these fainting episodes or this kind of thing. I felt weaker, I would say, and I was better with the infusions. So there must be a correlation with that. So basically every month, where as a female, it was getting actually worse and worse and worse, which is also very strange because most of the people say on carnivore they're getting better, especially because of the more iron and these kind of things. So that's why I really wondered what's wrong. So I started fainting a few days ago, and it was the correlation between these things. So yesterday I was feeling extremely dizzy. I was my MS symptoms started again, so my hands started really cramping. It was so bad. I was fatigued. Fatigue is not being just tired, what people do really are confused a little bit about. Fatigue is really you're like fainting. It's very similar to this from the feeling parts, especially with the MS. And my legs started blocking when I walked. That was always the problem in the beginning. What I told you, that I wasn't able to walk more than 3,000, 5,000 steps because my legs started blocking. So yeah, I was really a little bit scared, that not again the MS shit is starting over. So it started basically getting worse and worse and worse when I did the sardines challenge. It was very good. The 2 days I was feeling amazing. I was in the ketosis and these kind of things, but then it dropped. So what I think may happen that because I'm that low in iron, or what makes sense, I can't really say for sure, but this is the only thing that makes sense the most. That because of the sardines, and I was eating only the sardines, that my iron, which needed the meat part, even if it couldn't absorb it that good, that it was dropping even lower. That's why I was getting worse and gets really fainting. So why do I think there is a correlation? Because yesterday then I went to the pharmacy and I was feeling very bad. I took the best absorbing iron, which my doctor recommended. I took one, and maybe 15 minutes later, I was feeling so much better. So after maybe 4 or 5 hours, I was starting to get this dizziness again. So I took another one of the packages, and I was feeling also again better. Same thing happened in the morning. So I see the correlation between the iron part because every time I take it, I'm feeling better. So my body somehow cannot work with the iron in the meat. So a friend of mine told me to try meat and put some lemon on it. That this might help just to absorb the iron better. So that was a tip that helped him. So we will see if this works. I will try it because I am eating or having lemons. So I do have the vitamin C that will help absorb the iron normally. But still, something in my body is not really working that well with the iron part, which is very strange, And I talked to now many doctors, but they don't know what is causing it. And there must be maybe some correlation between my autoimmune disease with MS or the Hashimoto as well, because that's with the thyroid. So there must be something in this case that maybe is causing these kind of issues. So that's one thing. I'm getting better since I took the medicine, the iron, which is really absorbed better by my body. So I will have that always at home in case. It's expensive though, if I think about it. So that's what I hate about supplements. I think I have maybe worth 300, 400 euros of supplements in my home just because I was vitamin K deficient, but it has nothing to do with carnivore, it was before. Um, and the vitamin D, because if you have MS, you have to take more of that based on Dr. Chafee's advice. And the B12, same thing. I talked to my doctor. She will call me today, hopefully, for me to get the B12 in injections. Maybe this will help. That's what Dr. Chafee recommended to me. So maybe this is really causing some issues and troubles also with my hands again. Um, yeah, so that's basically that part we're trying to figure out right now. And it's really mentally heavy because, the symptoms are starting again. And, always feeling you're doing the right things. And then some days are just throwing me off the wagon. And I realized that a lot of people are struggling with the same things at the same days. So I looked a little bit more into correlations also, what can cause this, because it's not only women, it's men as well. And one thing I realized also in my job working only with men, that they are having like the same. That's why I always asked you guys as well, do you do you experience a pattern in your in a month? Do you see that always at the same time almost you feel anxious, aggressive, or whatever? Do you see any kind of patterns? So what I realize right now is, what does men and women have, that will maybe cause this, and what's happening every month, like the same thing. And I looked a little bit into the moon circles and these kind of things, and it was very strange, I have to say, because I'm not biased. I do every day a YouTube video, so I do have data from every day, how I feel and what I'm doing, like a diary. That was my first thing why I was doing the YouTube in the first place, and now I know why I did it. So that's amazing, because I can go back and see what date, what happened, how I felt, and so on. And I did see for this month a correlation between my cravings and feeling, very low in energy and these kind of symptoms with the moon circle. I was putting my app on it and see always when it's 83% the moon, like 100% is full moon. It was the same. Looking at my videos, it was at the same date, the same things were happening, which was very strange. And noticing that a lot of people at the same time are feeling very tired or weak and these kind of things. I really see that a lot of people are very sensitive maybe to these kind of things. So I was looking a little bit more into it because I was really curious. And there is some correlation also. They find out between borderliners and their moods and how they sleep, and how the moon circle affected their sleeps rhythm and these kind of things. So that's very interesting to look a little bit more deeper into. And yeah, that's just a theory. I'm just looking a little bit more into it because, yeah, I gotta look into everything. And I was joking with a friend, we have to fight the moon. If the moon is causing all these things, how can we fight the damn moon? We cannot move it. So yeah, what's basically will be the solution then for that. So that's why I think people don't even look into this, because you can't do anything, But yeah, I have a little bit too much time now being sick, and feeling that bad. I just moved from couch to my balcony or my bed, and I can't do really anything. I couldn't even move that much. So yeah, that's the shitty part about energy being low. I hope it will get better. I'm trying to be as good as possible. I'm getting back on track. I did have some salmon and egg yolks in the morning. And yeah, I prepared my ground beef and my steak for later, because one thing I did realize that every time I ate proper carnivore, not lion diet, but proper carnivore with eggs and a little bit bacon and a little bit cheap cheese and these kind of things, I felt my best. um Besides these 5 to 7 days in this maybe moon circle, who knows, in the end, where I really started craving and feeling weak and not sleeping well, and then the circle started with me eating also bullshit like protein bars or these kind of things, just because I was craving it, not because I think that protein bars are better, not at all, but that these are my go-to snacks. So I try to supplement it then with more honey or mascarpone, something that's more in a carnivore world, to get rid of this behavior, but it backfired, because the honey and these kind of things also started to having me some problems with my allergies, and also with, my itching in my throat. So yeah, that's the problem. In these days, I need something that is not only protein, fat. It seems I try everything. I eat as much as possible to have as much fat and as much protein and everything I need, just to be full. But I still am craving sweet things or dairy things, and I don't know how to get rid of this. Even me doing everything right in the first place and trying everything and electrolytes and all the things, it just doesn't work for me at these particular days. So I need a backup plan. I need something that is not that bad for me, but I still can maybe manage it. So I was thinking, maybe, I don't know. Some people say, dates are very good and not that bad. I don't know. I really don't know. I need it. I'm the person, I don't need it every day, and it will not trigger like me doing it every day. It's just these 7 days a month that are just troubled. So I don't know what to use as a backup plan, or I don't know what is even less worse. Maybe some, just putting pulver and make it with raw milk. Is that even better? Maybe some of you have some ideas. I cannot eat fruits. Fruits are causing me a lot of troubles. That's really the worst thing for me. I realized also yesterday. So that's off limits. Honey is causing me itching also in my throat. So that's off limits. Just to eat some yogurt or these kind of things is not sweet enough in these kind of days. I don't know. Or just to implement then coffee to feel awake, coffee with raw milk, but coffee with no mold, and these kind of things. I ordered some. I was recommended to, so I will have it at home, maybe to then use that, not to be too tired in these days, and then to that everything backfires. Maybe some of you guys have some ideas how to cope these days, because I realize that a lot of people have trouble with these things only these few days in a month. And it's not only women, but women especially, because of their circles and these kind of things. And I realize that's why women also struggle much more with fasting and these kind of things, in these particular days, or it backfires with the thyroids, and if they have the issues like I do with the Hashimoto and these kind of things. So that's very interesting to look more deeply into it, and I would love for you guys also to give me some advice. What will be the not worst thing maybe to even have, if it's like this, maybe just you have some ideas that will work. I'm open to everything. And especially with the iron intake, like this tip with the meat with the lemon, maybe you have guys some other tips as well that will help a lot. So yeah, that's how this thing looks like, and I would love to read a little bit how you guys are doing. And still, the one thing that I'm using is the gelatin and the tallow on my skin, and just use it like a labello, which when it's hard, it's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. I never had a skin better like this right now. It's really it was getting so good that I didn't even use, I think, the first time, real like makeup to feel better. So that, and also lying in the sun in the morning when the sun is going up, and just have some little sunlight for an hour at 9, 10 o'clock, if I can manage it, if I'm not in the office, or just go out as much as possible when the guys are going out. They're smoking. I don't smoke, but I stand then with them and just get some sunlight in the office normally. So that really helps also a little bit, and avoid the sun and at 12, 1, and like this, and then go out again at 3, 4, 5, something about that. So that also helps. Also helps a little bit with the mood. I now starting again to have problems with my hands. It's really annoying. It's really hurting, and it's just, yeah, I'm over it. So I hope maybe getting back on track will help, and that the problems were just causing by a lot of different other things. Just me, being stupid then in the end. So happy to hear from you guys, and thank you for all the best wishes yesterday on my community post, because I wasn't able to do anything. I was not feeling good at all. So yeah, I'm trying to do now the right things. Let's see how this goes. See you tomorrow, hopefully, as always.